Russell, disappointing end? What would you say?
Yeah, it's been a difficult week, I think, anyway, Rob, after the disappointment of not getting that vital result last week at Sheffield. It was always going to be a tough week, getting ourselves up for it, and then obviously the changes that went out yesterday. So we wanted to go out with a bang. Obviously, we didn't get the best possible start. A little bit against the Bolton, but we showed a character to get back in the game. But we didn't take it on this time from there, and disappointed that we've not got the win. But I mean, overall, our form at home has been very, very strong, and it's not because of our form at home that we've not finished in the top six. I think you've got to look in other areas and look at the detail, and football club, we need to review that and improve and move forward. We've made progress. Look, we've made progress. I've said that to you. There's more cohesion. We've gone from 11th to 8th place, what it is now. Should have been 7th, we know, but 8th place now. But that's progress, and it's not going to take an awful lot more progress to then move forward a little bit more. So I think there's a sound platform for the football club now to move forward. Was it quite an emotional time for you walking around the pitch at the end there? Yeah, it was. It was nice to have that rapport and that relationship that's grown with the fans over my time here. You know, and for both of us to show our appreciation for what's been achieved. It's not quite enough. We know that, but at least we have a stability. When I came to the football club, I think we were 17th. We managed to stop that slide, turn it around, address the financial side, reduce the wage bill. We didn't quite reduce it enough, went into an embargo situation. Good news is that we've come out of that now, so we've navigated those waters as well. And I just think that the football club now is in a really good position to move forward. I was going to say, what does the head coach, whoever he may be, inherit from you? Well, I think he has a nucleus of a good group. Yes, it needs building round. There's no doubt about that. And it's important, I think, for him to hang on to the nucleus and those good players that have served the club well certainly over my time here, and then to build round that, to keep that hardcore together. I think that's crucial. What happens to the likes of Immers and Lawrence? Oh, there's good dialogue with Lex. I think there's. I see closure on that one in the not too distant future, and I think that will be a really good acquisition going forward. With regard to Tom, obviously he's had his loan spell. That'll be one for the new manager to weigh up, really, depending on what he wants to do, how he wants to play, etc. Have you been given any indication of when the new head coach will be appointed? No, and as you know yesterday from being in the meeting, it's the end of the season now, so from that point of view, at least the football club has time to search and get the right man, get the right fit. And having had a night to think about it now, how is your head of football role looking? Well, look, lots to talk about. That's all I can say. I've got 3 million things going round in my head, but like I am as a person anyway, Rob, I will want to, whatever I do, I want to do it to the best of my ability, and so I will look at what needs addressing and try and define those areas a little bit more clearly going forward. And nobody knows what can happen in the future, but do you think this was your last game as a football manager? Oh, Rob, you're asking me for the crystal ball, but no, look, that's what I've done. I've done 760 odd games or something like that now, and that is something. You know, it depends how long I'm in this, but that's something I'll have to come to terms with. But obviously, it's been my life, and that's not something that you would throw away easily. So if this role, wasn't something I feel long term that I'm cut out for, then obviously I will look at other options.
Is it a promotion or a demotion ahead of football?
That's for you, Tucker, to speculate.
But I mean, what will you do? Well, what have they said to you? What's the
Well,
spec of
well,
the job?
well, that's I think I just answered that, Steve, to a certain extent. I think we need to sit down and define those areas between us. That I've said, look, we lack any head of recruitment. We haven't got a head of recruitment here, and that side of it needs addressing properly. So I'm sure that will be a chunk of what I take on board, and we have a look at that to ensure that we're doing that in a more professional manner going forward.
Is it not a demotion though, in the sense that if you've done a good enough job as manager, you would have been kept on as manager?
That's up to you to speculate, Steve. Whatever you think. The owner, it's a question for the owner, really, isn't it? I mean, he's made a decision. He wants to go in a slightly different direction in terms of his manager, but also he wants to improve the infrastructure at the football club. Not exactly a bad thing, eh?
Is that structure, the new structure, is obviously going to affect who is brought in as head coach? As you as a manager in your career, would you have gone into a job where there was a head of football, director of football?
I think it's a more continental approach, isn't it? A modern approach, if you like, to the game. It works elsewhere, and sometimes it hasn't worked for sure. But I think it's something that the club, it's a direction that the club want to go in. So I think we all have to embrace that, and it's a challenge, and it will, it'll be different, there'll be changes, but hopefully the most important thing is we make it work.
Do you think you'll be involved in the recruitment of the new head coach?
Yeah, I'm hoping that we can present players from our recruiting, organise that recruiting side better, present players to the manager, and then it will be down to the manager and the board to then give it a yes or no.
It says the new head coach won't report to you. I saw.
That's right. Both will report to Ken.
Does that mean you'll have no kind of say on first team matters next season in your new role?
No, the selection of the side will be completely down to the manager, and that's exactly the way it should be.
But you'll have no input. You couldn't go and say, well, what about some? So it won't be that kind of relationship. This new guy will be very.
It might develop into that. Well, it might develop into that, Steve. Who knows? It's a question of whether you're asked for that opinion, isn't it? I mean, it's so early days. It's difficult for me to say what kind of relationship that will be.
Russell, as you said, the club could have easily gone down last year. So you must feel so proud of what you've done. Stabilise and push promotion despite the transfer ban, signing best players and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah,
you've done a good job, and at the end of the day, it must feel that.
I hope people look and reflect on. It was quite a turbulent time for the football club. There was no stability, and it could have been more difficult for the football club. There's several clubs, as you know, that have gone down a second stage as well from being relegated from the Premier League, and it was important to turn that around, really. And we've managed to do that. There's a better cohesion, as I said, better spirit at the football club, and there's a nucleus of players that I still believe can take this club forward to the next level. We've come close, but not close enough, and I'm pleased and proud of what the staff have done and the players have done in terms of changing that and changing the momentum to a positive momentum, and I just think it's a great opportunity now. I mean, it's not like it's not going to be the club I came into. It's going to be a club that's came very close to finishing in the top 6 and has got a great platform to build on. That's what somebody's going to inherit. That's quite exciting.
Do you not feel slightly annoyed then that you've done all the dirty work, and then this new guy is going to come in, as you see, you've provided this great platform? Is it not part of you slightly frustrated that you're not getting to continue on having?
I'm not a bitter, twisted man, Steve. So no, it's for the good of the football club. There's nothing bigger than the football club. That's the most important thing. and I appreciate that. And nobody's bigger than the football club. And if I, as I said yesterday, if I can play my part, I'll play my part. You enjoyed that, Rob.
1 minute twisted man in the room is enough. Isn't it?
Hey, it's only what I was thinking.
Russ, that's basically, you can walk away from your role to the new role with your head held high, can't you, really?
Yeah. I mean, obviously, I wanted a bit more. I suppose, look, we all want a bit more as a manager in terms of that success. But I think the perception from outside is certainly that we've done a good job. Me and my team here have done a good job at the football club. Yeah, we've just missed out, but overall, it's a tick in the box.
What was up with Manga at the start? He was on the team sheet. What happened there?
Ian Lanning, kit man, got it wrong.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
What, on the team sheet?
Yes. That's going to cost him a couple of bottles of Marlborough tonight.
Russell, just obviously Ben Turner played today, first game in a year. What's the situation with him moving forward? He's out of contract in the summer. Do you know, is that the last time he'd play for this club? Or
Yeah, I wanted him to play today, because he'd had a couple of games now under his belt, and to get that would have given him a huge boost for Ben, and Ben of most people deserves that, and no, he's down for the football club. I thought, he's got a bit of a bang on his shin, actually, nothing to do with his ankles at all. But I thought he was, for his first performance, I thought he was really solid. He was good. He's a real warrior, and if he's not here, if it's decided that he's not here, he's going to do somebody a terrific job.
If you had to pick a favourite moment during your time as Cardiff manager, Russell, do you have one? Do you have a moment that you particularly cherish and be manager of this football club? Apart from speaking to Steve,
Yeah, I was going to say,
press conferences.
meeting
they're all memorable. Not. No. I'd say the Brighton game at home was where everything kind of came together against a very good side, and that was probably the outstanding performance since I've been here.